I know that I'm a weatherman, and this is really kind of outside of my area of usual jurisdiction, but I know there's been a lot of people asking about how to safely view the eclipse coming up this coming Saturday, and then also next year, funny enough, on my birthday next year. So I wanted to share a few things, and if you go to a local store, I'm told that even some of the libraries might have them. You can get these glasses that really, they kind of remind me of like the 3D glasses we used to get at the movie theater, right? They're just, cardboard, they're simple, but they have a kind of a spot where you bend. There's a couple of them, just depending on how big your head is, and I've got a pretty big head, so, but you put them on and really, you can't really see anything, but it's going to block out those harmful rays and make sure that when you're looking at the sun, it's not going to damage you, because that's a pretty bad idea on its own, especially when an eclipse is going on. Now, there's also these, and these are obviously a little more expensive, a little more permanent. Since I plan on being a part of both eclipses, I thought I'd get a more permanent set. Or really any eclipse I have the pleasure of living through and seeing, I'm probably going to take part. And so these are the same thing, but they're plastic, and what you want to look for is this right here, where it says it's ISO certified. That is pretty much going to be your clue that these are safe to use. And, it's on there. See, it's right there as well. So these are going to be the best kind of eyeglasses to wear. Now, assuming you don't want to get either of those, there are other household items that you can use to do this. So really, you want to use pinholes. And I'm going to just use just a simple notepad, the sticky notes, right, to illustrate this. So what you want to do is you'll just create a little pinhole, and so poke a little hole with a pen or something of that sort through there, and you want to make sure that it kind of stays round, right? So you want to make sure that once you poke it, that you kind of make sure that, again, it's kind of a round hole, and what you're going to do is you're going to hold it up to the back of the other thing, and even with this, you can kind of see the hole. And you might want to make it a little bigger than I did, so you so that it's big enough, right, to see what's going through there. But what you're going to do is when you project that, the light going through the hole on the other pad, you will actually see the eclipse occur on that. You will see the crescent form and that kind of thing. And what it is you're looking at this pad instead of looking directly at the sun. And what I found out a few years ago, I believe it was 2012, 2013, somewhere in there, when there was an eclipse here and I was at my office in Lancaster, we noticed that through the leaves on the ground, we could actually see the eclipse because it was creating little pinholes, right? So even in that kind of a setting, if you have a tree where the light is going through the leaves, you can actually see it that way too. So these are just a few ideas. There's a number of different ways. One of the other ones that was talked about is the fact that you can actually make it to where you have a box on your head, right? And there's a hole, but like we talked about, the little pinhole, right, in the back behind you, and then you put a white piece of paper in front of you, project the light onto that, and that'll work too. So those are just a few ways that you can actually watch the eclipse as it happens and not hurt yourself, right? There's a number of really interesting ideas. I would love for you to share your ideas in the comments, things you've done in the past, things that you've learned. These are just a few that I could show you. So thank you so much for watching, and let me know what other questions you would like to have answered in future WeatherFAQ segments.